Hi, this is the market outlook for the week starting Monday, October the 7th. Last week was a little bit eventful. We see that we had a sharp drop on Thursday and quite an amazing steady recovery on Friday, and the channel higher boundary has been tested. We see here there's a fib level around 29.55 or 29.60, which was almost hit on Friday. That said, the same way as we had a downward excursion on Thursday, it could hover there, but the major test will be whether it goes back into the downward channel or not. It looks from the futures that there's been a little bit of profit taking, so the futures hovering around 39.40. So if we go back to the chart, it looks like we may go back to the channel. There may be a strong breakout effect if the market passes that level, 29.50, 29.60, maybe 29.65. Although there is what we call here a midpoint or a mid-range resistance level, which is fairly strong in general. So I would say that it's more likely that we'll have the market hover a little bit south, but probably not as much as last week. If it does, the chances of a selling acceleration would probably take the market to 2975 again, so back to lows, and we're back here with the second level in the very strong support area in the 2820, 2810. For that, better look at there we are. So for this, it's better to look at least a 4-hour chart or even daily chart. So there we see some of the short-term noises being cancelled or erased or reduced there. I still do believe that if the market fails to pass this resistance level, it will hover down, and then at some point the 2920, basically again this very strong support level with a strong support here from my support resistance algorithm. Incidentally, I mentioned a few times the market seems to move in quantums. I know this may sound like something esoteric or strange, but this algorithm uses a quite a different type of support resistance levels. It's not based on what people use generally, S1, S2, L1, R2. And if we look at the major levels here, for example, let's look at the support 2810. The next one is 2852. So here we see that those major levels are actually also 40 points apart. Although, as you can see, it does not always look that way, but that would be focusing a bit too much on the inevitable noise on those levels. So when the market broke the 2965, 27, 2970 area, it went down to more or less the same level, the 2930, which was a support, or should have been a support if there hadn't been that news effect. Okay, and lastly, maybe a quick look at the daily chart. Here as well, I think the daily chart is still short. It has some momentum to actually now return to the trend. And if I go back to the 4-hour, going long, but this may be an outlier, maybe an outlier here. And the 1-hour signal is most probably long but overbought. Yes, long from this one and now completely overbought, so looking at going down. So of course there are conflicting signals across time frames. That's quite common. So to go back to my outlook for the first days of the week, maybe the whole week, is that hovering, retracing a bit, and if the channel is confirmed again, it will drift down with a fairly high likelihood of going to aim for 28.25 at some point. And again, if this one breaks out, it's quite likely, although this is a less probable scenario, that it will then aim for this level, 2985, 2990, and then all-time highs. That's it for now. The next video will be on our trades. It's going to be short because there's actually not that much to say.